Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video just wanted to share with you all some information that was posted on the Lodestone regarding the European data centers. That is right, for those of you who didn't know, the European data centers will be coming out sometime in the month of October. They didn't give an exact date in this post, and they still haven't given us any exact dates yet. However, we do know it is planned to be the middle of October, I guess between the 10th and the 20th at some point. Now, with that in mind, they decided to release some information regarding certain things. For example, which data center is going to be transferred, although that should be a fairly obvious one if you've looked at the labeling of the data centers before. The servers on that data center that, of course, are going to be considered European. How the character information transfer is going to work. World transfers, subscription extensions, all that stuff posted there on the official Lodestone. If you would like to read through it yourself, be sure to check the description of the video. You can find a link there. So first of all, yes, the Chaos Data Center is going to be the one moving to Europe. So if you have a character on the Chaos Data Center, you don't have to worry about a thing. Your character is automatically going to transfer to this European data center. You don't have to save anything locally on the client, on your computer. You just simply don't have to worry about it. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when they decide to do this, the servers will go down for specifically the Chaos Data Center for 3 to 5 days. So in those 3 to 5 days, like I said, we don't know exactly when it's going to happen yet, but be prepared to not be able to play the game or to just have to mess around on another server if you absolutely can't shake that Final Fantasy XIV addiction for some reason. Now, an overview, this is just the basic things, just saying pretty much what I just said. All character data saved on the Chaos Data Center will be transferred automatically. No need to change settings on the launcher and the data center selection interface. None of that will be required. And then it's just reminding that before it's a North American, now after it's going to be located in Europe. Now, they said, like it says, maintenance here, but again, doesn't say the day. All it's letting you know is it will take somewhere between 3 to 5 days to complete this move of the servers. This is an announcement will be made at a later date with the maintenance schedule has been finalized. So just keep your eyes out for that as well. World subject to transfer: Cerberus, Lich, Moogle, Odin, Phoenix, Ragnarok, Shiva, and Zodiark. Now, subscription period extensions. This was something I was heavily rooting for those who were going to be basically out of the game for 3 to 5 days. It doesn't make sense for that to actually go into their subscription time. Yes, you could technically play on another server, but, I mean, if your main character is located on these servers, it really doesn't make sense. So, in order to compensate players inconvenienced by this extended maintenance, those who meet the following requirements will have their subscriptions extended by the number of days required for maintenance. Service accounts containing characters on the worlds within the Chaos Data Center before Friday, September 18th at 9 GMT. In case you're wondering right now, I believe that is today, and I believe the time has passed. They probably were waiting for that exact period to pass, but so that way people can then go and make characters on all these servers to try and get extensions. So good on them. Service accounts with an active subscription. So if you do not have an active subscription, of course you're not going to get an extra 5 days. It doesn't make any sense. So world transfers. Now this was a big thing for me because I also felt that they needed to make it so that there were free world transfers to and from the Chaos Data Center because, I mean, come on, there might be Europeans that played on any server because it didn't matter, and now they really want to play on this data center. And then there's going to be North American players on the Chaos Data Center who are like, I'm probably going to switch to now the dedicated North American ones. Now, they got half of this right, where they say players will be allowed to transfer from worlds within the Chaos Data Center to worlds within the other data centers, free of charge for 1 week. They do recommend that people try it out because, of course, North American players on the Chaos Data Center, while they're logged in, they will experience lag if they don't server transfer. So they have a week to decide, is this going to work for me? Is it not going to work for me? Now, what bothers me is I don't see anything going the other direction. People who are on other worlds, Europeans that are on other worlds, that want to transfer to the Chaos Data Center. And yes, I know that technically you're only offering this service to the people who are now being inconvenienced, the people who are in North America, but the Europeans have been inconvenienced for over 2 years now. In my eyes, it would be great if the Europeans could get a free transfer to the Chaos Data Center, but right now it doesn't look like that's going to be a thing. So, I mean, I'm just the messenger. So I'm sorry, that's all it is. Free world transfer will not apply to characters moved from, it even says in like red text, which I can barely see, from the Elemental, Gaia, Mana, and Ether Primal data centers to the Chaos. So that's terribly unfortunate. Maybe they'll change their mind. They still have some time left, but even then, I'm just wondering if they're afraid it's going to get abused in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how, but maybe they're afraid of it. But anyway, just wanted to share this with you guys for those of you who've been looking forward to the European data centers. Sorry if you're not on Chaos and need to pay for a transfer for whatever reason. Now, also, do not forget, I'm going to add this little thing at the end of the video here. We do have TGS Tonight Tokyo Game Show, September 18th at 8 p.m. PST. And that would be 11 p.m. EST, which is GMT -5, so with or without friggin' daylight savings, just figure out the time from that point on. So we are actually going to be hosting a live translation for that on Twitch. There is going to be no multi-Twitch or anything like that, because the event is not being hosted on Twitch. It's being hosted on Nico Nico and YouTube. So it's literally just going to be a page with the document, me typing, and of course Marco doing the translations. Thank you, Marco, because we know it is a very inconvenient time over in Europe to have to watch this. So the fact that you're willing to do this, thank you so much. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video, and hopefully that will be the TGS recap video. But until then, take care.